Hello! So, I beat the Elite Four, now I'm in the post-game section, but this is a good excuse to talk about my team. I want to be very clear, while I was fighting the Elite Four and Lance, I only used this guy and I think Flaaffy for like 2 seconds. I only used for Alligator. But the rest of them got registered as champions, and I want to talk about my team, so we're going to do that. But I just wanted to be clear that I pretty much just used him because he's an absolute overpowered unit, and I love him. So, first let's look at good old Alligator. That's what he looks like. Big guy. He was my starter. I used Totodile as my starter. This is Pokemon Silver, by the way. It probably says that somewhere in the title, but I'm playing Pokemon Silver. He's a water type. He's currently a level 67. He was a little bit lower when I did the Elite Four, but not by much. These are all his stats. His moves and his item. Currently he's holding an amulet coin, which gives me double the amount of money in every trainer battle. Not a huge thing, but I like it, and he doesn't really need any power-ups, so I gave it to him since I'm using him most in battle anyways. He has Scratch. Really good normal type move. That and Bite I use most in battle. One-shots a lot of, I'd say most opponents. Surf, primarily an overworld move because that's how I can swim across water, but it's also a really, really powerful water type move in battle. So pro tip, when you get Surf, don't give it to an HP slave or anything. That's what they're called, right? HM slaves? It's a weird title, but I'm pretty sure that's what people call the Pokemon they shove all their HMs and TMs onto. Don't give it to that. Give it to whatever your strong water type is on your team. If you have a strong water type you're using on your team, if you have a good water type, give Surf to them because it's also really good in battle. Bite, good dark type move. Again, that and Scratch I use most often. And it also oftentimes causes the enemy to flinch, which means they won't attack back during that round. So that can be very helpful for stronger Pokemon, so a lot of times I'll Bite, the enemy will flinch and not attack me, so he doesn't even lose any hit points, and then I'll Scratch to kill them. Or sorry, make them faint. I use the word kill because that's essentially the function in-game, but I am aware that they don't actually die. And Whirlpool, overworld move, sort of helpful in battle. I don't use it that often in battle. Those are his stats. Weepinbell. This is my grass type. I love her. Look how stupid she looks. She's a grass poison type. It is good to have a strong grass type on my team, especially considering I had a water starter. Fire. Nah, I don't really care. I haven't gotten a good fire type. If I was able to get a good fire type, I would have one, to be clear. It hasn't come up that much. But it is good to have a grass type on my team. Because I do run into grass types a lot, and, you know, that's not the best when I have a water starter as my main guy. But she's very good, I like her a lot. She's freshly evolved, as you can tell, level 21. But she's a Weepinbell now. I think this item just makes her grass type move stronger? I don't actually know. I don't remember, but she's holding something. Vine Whip. Pretty solid, not like amazing, but pretty solid grass type move to have. Sleep Powder puts the enemies to sleep most of the time, which can be very helpful. A lot of times, sometimes I'll see like a kind of a higher level Pokemon, but not crazy high level, and I won't want to one-shot it or two-shot it with Alligator, because I want to level up the rest of my team a bit. So typically when that happens, I'll whip her out, and if she doesn't get one-shot by the enemy, then I use Sleep Powder. Enemy falls asleep, and then the rest of my team can have a bit of a go of it without getting attacked, and that can be good for raising experience. Poison Powder. I've tried using that move a few times and it hasn't worked. Presumably poisons the enemy, but I've not been able to use it. And Cut, primarily an overworld move, because that's how you get rid of trees, but it's also a pretty good normal type move in battle. And those are her stats. Flaaffy, freshly evolved. Or maybe a bit higher level now, but pretty much freshly evolved. Electric type, this was Mareep initially. Let's go stat screen. Doesn't have an item currently. Has Tackle, pretty solid, standard, normal type move. Most beginner Pokemon have Tackle or something similar to it. Growl, I think lowers the attack of the enemy? I don't know, I don't really use that one. Thundershock and Thunder Wave, I don't really know the difference, but I do know that Thundershock does damage, and I'm pretty sure both of them can cause paralysis in the enemy, which is a good one. I don't use Flaaffy that often in battle, but it's good to have an electric type on the team. And this is the stat screen. Also, it's a lady. I don't know if I pointed that out. That one's a lady, set in the corner. Pidgeotto. Don't want to fly right now. So Pidgeotto, another lady, freshly evolved. Normal flying type. These are the experience and level stuff. Has Tackle, again, standard. Sand Attack, it lowers the accuracy of the enemy. I use this sometimes if I'm up against kind of a stronger opponent and I need them to make more misses so they don't body all of my Pokemon. So I'll use it for that. I'll also sometimes use it. I don't know if it actually helps, but I think it might help with catching Pokemon, so sometimes I'll lower the accuracy of something I'm trying to catch. That might not be accurate though, so take that with a grain of salt. Gust, not super strong. I don't remember what type move it is, but it might be a flying type move, or like, I don't know what type move it is. I could probably check that actually, because I use it sometimes, but I forgot. Sand. It's a flying, okay, it is a flying type move. So, I use that sometimes, clearly not that much. And then there's Fly, which I haven't tried to use in battle. I don't know what it does in battle, but that's how you can get around the map without having to walk a bunch. So it's a very, very useful overworld one. And Pidgeotto was the only one on my team who could take it, so I taught it to that. Also not holding an item. Stat screen. Sudowoodo. This guy, fun fact, scared the ever-loving shit out of me when I first saw him. Because, I don't know if you know, but you go up to a tree and you scored it with a bottle. So I didn't even know this was a Pokemon. Prior to seeing him in the game, I'd never heard of this Pokemon. And also, look how fucking freaky his Pokemon Silver Sprite is. Imagine my shock when I looked up modern art, and he's not fucking leering towards you like you're walking alone down a dark road at night, and he's suddenly bolting at you full speed. That's the image this brings in my brain. I don't like him, but he's a strong guy. Yeah, no, due to a save issue, I actually, due to a save issue, I had to do this encounter twice. I don't want to talk about it, but I did this encounter 2 separate times to catch him, and both times he absolutely bodied, like, most of my team, so he's a really strong guy, which is why I still have him on my team. Even though he's not even, like, the highest level or anything, he's very durable, I've found. He's a rock type, which is weird, because he's a tree, but pure rock type, which I find funny. He has Rock Smash, Overworld move, breaks rocks. Not super effective in battle, but it's a good overworld move to have. Strength, overworld move, moves boulders. Haven't used it in battle. Maybe it's powerful in battle, I don't know. And then Flail and Low Kick are 2 of the moves he came with that I kept because they are very strong. I think Low Kick is a fighting type move and Flail is a normal type move. I might be wrong. But they're very strong moves in battle, so good to have. And that's his stat screen. And finally, this one's a weird one. This is my shiny Gyarados. Initially, I was gonna go into the Elite Four with Meowth, but before you can get to the Elite Four, you have to go up a waterfall, and for some reason, it wouldn't let me teach that move to Feraligatr, so I went back and I switched out my Meowth with this guy. my level 30 Gyarados, shiny Gyarados, who I got at the Lake of Rage. And yeah, it's kind of weird that it wouldn't let me teach that to Feraligatr, but I'm not complaining because I like Feraligator's moveset. But he's a water flying type. He has Thrash. I think it's just a strong normal type move. I might be wrong. Bite. We already talked about that. Dragon Rage. I don't know. And Waterfall, which is I've not used in battle, but that's what I taught him for. So, I don't have a ton to say on Gyarados. He just wasn't supposed to be here. But he's a level 30, which is nice. He was a good backup in case anything would have happened to Feraligatr. But yeah, that is the team that I beat the Elite Four with, although again, it was really just Feraligatr. And yeah, I love these guys. I haven't given any of them nicknames. I haven't been nicknaming my Pokemon in this one, because I like remembering what their canon names are, because I'm bad with names. But yeah, that's my team. Okay.